Welcome to CBC Windsor News at 6. I'm Meg Roberts. Thanks so much for spending part of your evening with us tonight.
That was the wildest thing I've ever seen. That is just incredible. It was like better than I was expecting.
The celestial event of not only the century, but the next 3. Windsor-Essex getting the view of a lifetime today as a total eclipse passed over parts of our region this afternoon. We have all your eclipse reaction. Plus, a recently fired city staffer has filed a $1.5 million wrongful dismissal lawsuit citing allegations of a top-down culture of corruption. And a Windsor boxer has landed a spot on Team Canada after shedding nearly 100 pounds. Well, our Chris Ensing was in the path of totality today. He was in the crowds in Leamington and Kingsville to take it all in.
This moment of joy started with a lot of preparation. People driving hours to wait in line to be one of the hundreds of vehicles let inside of Point Pelee National Park, the southernmost tip of Canada, and the path of totality hitting it before any other spot on mainland Canada. People coming from all over, deciding the weather forecast would send them here instead of places like Niagara Falls. Where's home?
Toronto.
Toronto. Oh, so you had Niagara Falls. You had plenty of options, but you're choosing here. Why here?
We were checking the weather in a bunch of places and made a game time decision this morning, like where we were going to drive. And this is the clearest spot.
Where are you coming from?
Macomb, Michigan.
Macomb, Michigan? All the way across?
About an hour and a half, yeah.
So why did you choose here? Why was Point Pelee the place, or Pelee National Park the place to be?
It was the furthest in the path of totality that we could get without going to Ohio, because who wants to go to Ohio?
Others said that they have been waiting years for this moment to experience totality in their own county. I spoke with 2 people who were buddies back in high school, forming a club to track these kind of movements in space, all coming down to a day like today.
We're in the path of totality. This is where you want to be in Essex County.
But it was this moment in the afternoon with thousands of people across Windsor, Essex, staring into the sun, their glasses on their eyes, waiting for that tiny sliver of the sun to disappear behind the moon for a moment like this.
Totality has just started. This is absolutely crazy.
There it is, Heather. You can hear everybody around us. That's just a gorgeous moment. I don't know what you're able to see, but the water is calm. I'm going to take the glass off just to look. Mike, if you can point the camera to the right there, you can see the sun sort of, the way the glow has been created over there. One of those beautiful sunsets that we would see here. Heather, it's incredible. People we spoke with throughout today saying that this was the moment they wanted, a time to push away any cynicism and just experience the joy that comes with something that may only happen once in a lifetime. Chris Ensing, CBC News, Kingsville.
Windsor wasn't quite in the path of totality today. Here, people got a look at a partial solar eclipse. With schools out, it was still a sight to behold. Our CBC's Jennifer LaGrassa caught up with those who stopped to look. Jen, I don't know about you, but I still enjoyed the view quite a bit from the city.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. I thought it was fantastic. Now, Windsor, like you said, we didn't get totality. We got 99.5% coverage, but that was good enough for me, and it was really great for a lot of other people too. Dozens of people came out to the riverfront. Here are some of the people that I spoke with today.
I'm sitting on the front lawn of the apartment building that we live in at 3905 Riverside Drive.
And so usually, like, I mean, we're right by the Detroit River. Usually you'd be looking out that way, but you're kind of facing the opposite way today. What's going on?
Well, we're going to have ourselves an excellent view of the eclipse that's going to happen this afternoon. Normally, you're right, we sit on the balcony and have a great view of the river, but because we live on this side of the building, we won't see the sun, so we're out here enjoying the sun on the front lawn.
It sounds like a noodle, and it's like circling the... Yeah, it's about to happen.
How cool is this to be watching right now?
Very cool, yeah. I love it.
Oh my God, it's only probably, so the moon has covered the whole of the sun, actually. Oh my God. That's amazing. It feels unreal. Like I said, you know, you see these type of thing in the movies, and it's crazy how it got dark real quick, and even you can see the water too, like going up and down, you know, and all the It's fascinating, definitely. Like, this is my first time seeing something like this, so I'm totally amazed. Like, there's so many feelings and words like coming in my head and everything. It's crazy. Wow, all the lights. Look at the lights too. Even the offices. Wow. Damn, that's crazy. It only shows like we're a small speck of a dust in the whole universe, and and sometimes just takes a little thing to come all together. So it's so fascinating.
Now, Meg, I will say, as fantastic as it was to be looking up and watching the moon passing over the sun, I think what I enjoyed more was taking in people's reactions, just being there on the riverfront, surrounded by dozens of people who were taking that moment to just look up and soak in that moment. It was just beautiful. It was really beautiful, and people like Love Ramen made it all the more beautiful for me. So back to you in the newsroom.
I could not agree with you more, Jen. Thanks so much for that. That's the CBC's Jennifer LaGrassa reporting. Of course, it wasn't just our area that saw that eclipse today. Mazatlan in Mexico was the first major viewing spot along the path of totality in North America, and Niagara Falls with another very beautiful view. This was the scene at the falls today. It's estimated more than 1 million visitors flocked to the city to watch. Windsor-Essex County was the first in mainland Canada to see the eclipse as it swept through central Canada and several Atlantic provinces before heading out to sea. Almost everyone in North America had a chance to see at least a partial eclipse. The last time a total eclipse crossed Canada was in 1979. Well, Colette, we've been building this day up for what feels like weeks now. What did you think?
Yeah, we really have, haven't we? I'll tell you, a large part of my day was watching a little cloud deck and the clearing line of those clouds and answering a lot of questions out of the Weather Center about who was going to be into it and who would, not be able to see it. So,
well, we got lucky, did we not?
Very lucky for southwestern Ontario, just amazing. And that clearing line kind of as it moved eastward, right around, I'd say about Hamilton, they were like, I don't know if it's going to happen, and then it just cleared. So, consider yourself lucky. Buy some lotto tickets if you happen to be in the cloud, and then it broke off. But yeah, some really wonderful conditions, viewing conditions for southwestern Ontario, and I loved hearing from all those folks in that piece there too, because really, really nice how it impacts folks, but also brings everyone together. Current temperatures, well, where there was a little more cloud cover, temperature down. Where there were more breaks and visibility was good, 17 for Ottawa, but we got to point out Windsor at 20, and you can see just a little further west. I've got Chicago on here too, just to show you there's even a little more warmth to the west of us. And that's coming our way as we move towards tomorrow ahead of a cold front. Now, when the cold front comes in, that'll make some changes to our weather, but just enjoying the evening and able to do that. The wind's not very strong. Now, that's going to change as that front approaches. So it is a southerly flow. It helps to pull that temperature up. But by tomorrow afternoon, we'll find them getting a little bit gusty, so more towards that 30 to 40 kilometers an hour. And some of the gusts at times may even exceed 40 kilometers an hour. So here we are with the clear skies. We keep those through the overnight hours as well. But we have to start paying attention to, so that's the warm front, and those are the clouds that hampered some folks' their viewing associated with the warm front. But it's the cold front that's back to the west that needs to come through too. And that can be a trigger point. That colder air at the surface provides some lift as it undercuts things, and then we start to see, because of the warmth in place, and it is springtime, some thunderstorms developing. So we have that risk tomorrow afternoon. Locally, some heavier downpours are possible. It's going to be pretty widespread, but not everyone will experience it. Just be aware that that possibility is there. And again, it's kind of tomorrow afternoon and early evening, and then it moves on. But overnight tonight, 7. There's the high for tomorrow, a beautiful 22 degrees. So enjoy it when it is dry. The morning hours looking much better as things begin warming up. Wednesday looks great too, 19, a mix of sun and cloud, even though we'll be behind the front. And the next system comes in for Thursday, Friday with more wet weather, Meg.
Well, it looks like that eclipse is at least bringing in the warm weather.
Yeah, exactly, right? Making it feel like spring again.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Colette.
You're welcome.
We've still got lots of news coming up for you. The city of Windsor is being sued by its former chief engineer. We have the details on that $1.5 million lawsuit. Stay tuned. A top-down culture of corruption. It's a line written in a lawsuit against the city of Windsor. The city is being sued by its former chief engineer. Chris Nepsey has filed a wrongful dismissal suit against the municipality. That's after he was terminated from his position last November. Windsor Star's Taylor Campbell was first to report this story. The CBC's Dawson Chen has been following the development. Dawson, why is Nepsey taking this to court?
Meg, it's because he and the city couldn't come to terms on his severance package. The suddenness of Nepsey's firing needs to be understood. City Hall watchers will remember that both Chris Nepsey and the city's solicitor were relieved from their positions in November 2023. Mayor Drew Dilkins used his new strong mayor powers to fire them. And at the time, the mayor called it a realignment for more effective decision-making. But the lawsuit says different.
What does Nepsey allege in this lawsuit?
Meg, a lot. The mayor denies these allegations, but Nepsey's statement of claim says there's a problem with the governance culture at City Hall. According to the suit, the city's former CAO, Enorio Colucci, told Nepsi to focus on appeasing the mayor and the mayor's supporters, describing this as the Windsor way. The suit alleges that the mayor and senior administrators made demands that would have required Nepsi to participate in acts of impropriety, including misuse of public funds by city leadership for personal and political gain. Another direct quote from the suit is that Nepsi observed a top-down culture of corruption. One example described in the suit, Nepsi alleges that he was instructed not to proceed with scheduled infrastructure projects in the ward of Councillor Fabio Costante out of the mayor's spite for that councillor.
It's important to mention that none of the allegations have been proven in court, but what does the mayor have to say about all of this?
The mayor's office has issued a general statement. The city denies all of the spurious allegations and will defend itself accordingly. We also contacted the Toronto-based law firm that Nepsi has retained for this civil action.
Believe me, the last thing he wanted to do was issue a claim. He certainly did not do it to help the mayor's enemies. He did it in order that he would be financially secure, because he cannot be financially secure in the offer they made for him. And who knows how long it will take him to be reemployed.
The city of Windsor has yet to file a statement of defense.
Thanks so much for that, Dawson. That's the CBC's Dawson Chen. The 23-year-old man convicted of murder in the 2021 attack on a Muslim family in London is seeking to appeal his convictions. This comes less than 2 months after Nathaniel Veltman was sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole for 25 years. He was sentenced for killing 4 members of a Muslim family after hitting them with a pickup truck. Veltman's lawyer says they are filing the appeal because they think he was wrongfully convicted. Windsor police say they are now investigating after a body was found at the scene of an early morning house fire in the city's East End. According to police officers and firefighters responded around 4:30 Monday morning to a house fire in the 1900 block of Bernard Road. When the fire was extinguished, police say a body was recovered inside the home. An investigation has started to determine the cause of the fire and discovery of the body. Police are looking for surveillance or dash cam footage from the area. Anyone with information is asked to contact Windsor Police or Crime Stoppers. Multiple classrooms and childcare spaces have been added to a school in Leamington. The Windsor Essex Catholic District School Board says the new spaces at St. Louis Catholic Elementary School will better accommodate a growing community.
This is a great thing for us because we're expanding exponentially. And we get kids like just coming in from all over. And the first day of school, we always have a great influx of kids coming in. The parents don't register them before. So this is excellent for us. And it's an excellent facility. It's wonderful, it's modern, it's great. And it's been a long time coming.
The classrooms were shown to the public on Friday, but are already being used. 147 students from grades 1 to 5 will benefit, with additional 60 daycare spaces expected to be added soon. The school board says it spent $7.6 million, which is received from the provincial government. What started as a weight loss journey for one Windsor teenager has turned into a spot on Team Canada's roster. CBC's Dawson Chen has more on one young boxer's success.
17-year-old Geraldine Castillo wasn't always so light on her feet. The Windsor fighter from Border City Boxing Club says she looked a lot different 3 years ago after she emerged from COVID restrictions.
During the quarantine, my physical health took a very large decline. I was weighing about, I think 250 some odd pounds. And so after quarantine, I came back into boxing and I lost almost 100 pounds. I feel like boxing has helped me with a lot of things, not only with my physical health. It's so important in life to always have a goal to strive for. And boxing also teaches you morals, discipline, determination, hard work, which these are all things that are part of the sport. It's this.
Born in Windsor from parents who emigrated from the Dominican Republic, Castillo is following a family tradition in boxing. Her older brother trained at Border City Boxing Club, and her uncle is heavily involved in the sport in the Dominican Republic. Since 2020, Castillo has competed in multiple amateur tournaments. On March 23rd, she had her biggest win yet at the Youth Nationals in Calgary, landing her a spot on Team Canada. Her coaches say she has potential for more.
She works hard, especially lately. She's been working hard. And I'd say as a boxer, her boxing ability and moving for her weight and straight right, she's got power too. That helps a lot too.
what we were worried about it just because a lot of kids, with their physical health, their mental health, COVID took a knock on all of us, but she came back strong. She took her training serious. Geraldine's got all the potential in the world.
Castile plans on attending a Team Canada training camp in British Columbia this summer. From there, she hopes to get her first taste of international competition. Dawson Chen, CBC News, Windsor.
The Royal Canadian Air Force is celebrating its 100-year anniversary. We spoke with a local pilot about the monumental anniversary and his hopes for the military moving forward.
This is a very proud moment of my life because naturally with 32 years it was a better part of my life. The only problem is that it seems to be going down in size, both in numbers of airplanes and numbers of personnel, and this really concerns me as a citizen, because if there ever is a wartime or something that comes up, you need a strong nucleus of people who can train the other people. It's a jewel in our area to have this Canadian Air Museum so that the people of Windsor can go out and actually see what the RCAF did all these years. I'm such a proud member to have been associated with the Royal Canadian Air Force, and I wish them very much on their 100th birthday today.
We've got more news coming up. Stay tuned. Displaced residents in southern Gaza are returning home to Khan Yunis after Israel pulled out most of its ground troops in the area. People are returning to find a devastated city. It's estimated that 90% of homes and buildings were damaged or destroyed in 6 months of fighting. The area has come under intense bombardment in recent months in Israel's war against Hamas militants. The Israeli military says the withdrawal leaves just one brigade there. It's been reducing troops in Gaza since the start of the year to relieve reservists. This comes amid growing pressure from its ally, the U.S., to improve the humanitarian situation. IDF officials say troops are regrouping as the military prepares to move into Rafah. Former U.S. President Donald Trump has clarified his position in the abortion debate. It's a very contentious issue in the current presidential campaign, and Trump has stepped away from endorsing national limits on the procedure. Journalist William Denslow reports.
The former president has previously been accused of being evasive on the issue of abortion, but in a more than 4-minute video posted on social media, Donald Trump has now laid out his view that it's a matter for individual states to decide.
Many states will be different. Many will have a different number of weeks, or some will have more conservative than others, and that's what they will be. At the end of the day, this is all about the will of the people. You must follow your heart, or in many cases, your religion or your faith.
Trump claimed credit for the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. Since then, 21 states have introduced bans or restrictions on abortions. Still, Trump said he strongly favoured the procedure in certain cases, including rape, incest, or if the woman's life is at risk. Some anti-abortion groups say they're strongly disappointed with his position, arguing that more action is needed at the federal level. President Biden says his predecessor's policies sowed chaos, adding that he'll seek to protect a woman's right to choose if re-elected in November. In a conference call with journalists, Biden's re-election team said Donald Trump was seeking to erode women's universal freedoms, often putting their health at risk. According to a recent Fox News poll, 59% of people felt the procedure should be legal. That's up from 44% when a similar poll was conducted back in 2022. William Denslow for CBC News, New York.
Canada's National Dental Care Plan is set to start next month. It's supposed to cover low and middle income seniors who don't have private insurance. But some dentists have decided not to sign on to the program. CBC's Marina von Stackelberg explains why.
No pain on any of the implants at all?
Coverage under the Canadian Dental Care Plan starts next month. This denturist says it will really help his senior patients.
It's something that most of our clients are going to be affected by. We're happy to be part of it, especially if it works the way it's supposed to.
So far, 1.6 million seniors have enrolled. Ottawa will only say thousands of oral health care providers have registered to treat them. Dental associations warn participation is low. Case in point, their presidents, working dentists themselves, tell CBC News they won't run the program in their own practices.
My staff have told me, in no uncertain terms, they don't want to do the program because they just cannot handle the extra burden that comes with it.
They say dental offices are thinly staffed and can't handle the paperwork Ottawa requires to process claims. Plus, they don't know what they're signing up for.
Unlike other dental plans, this federal program is asking the dentist to sign a contract that's like 7 pages long with a lot of unknown factors and unnecessary terms and conditions.
Some seniors are shocked to find out their dentist won't take part.
What does it mean for me? I've just got to continue paying and just have the minimal amount of things done.
It really irks me that the federal government came out and announced a dental plan, but they didn't do their homework to get the thing in place so that my dentist could be part of it.
But Ottawa may be looking to sweeten the deal.
We're working actively on creating an alternative portal that will allow dentists to participate just directly when a patient comes in front of them, to just put in the information and be able to put that claim.
Another sore spot for dentists and patients, the federal government initially pitched this as free dental care. But only some procedures are covered, and at a lower rate than many clinics charge. So you should still expect to see a bill when you leave the dentist chair. Marina von Stackelberg, CBC News, Ottawa.
Mount Etna blew circles of gas into the sky over Sicily on the weekend. Onlookers were transfixed by the sight. The so-called smoke rings filled the sky when a crater opened on the summit of the active volcano. Events like this are rare, but Mount Etna emits more volcanic vortex rings than any other volcano on Earth. Mount Etna is the highest peak in Italy, south of the Alps. It's by far the largest of the 3 active volcanoes in the country. That's it for CBC Windsor News. Don't forget, for news anytime, you can go to our website at cbc.ca/Windsor. You can also download the CBC News app for stories that matter most to you. And don't forget to watch the National tonight. Thanks so much for tuning in. Looking forward to seeing you back here tomorrow night.